the Biofriendly Podcast. It's the Biofriendly Podcast.
I can handle being one-sided.
Can you?
I can handle being two-faced.
Okay. One-sided and two-faced.
I can handle a lot of things.
A lot of things.
What I can't handle
What can you not handle, Noel?
is the lack of Christmas cheer.
I know.
In January.
I know. Happy New Year, though.
Happy New Year.
This is the first official Biofriendly Podcast of 2023.
Wow.
Yep.
So I don't have to remember any of those stupid tags anymore.
No, we have a clean slate.
Clean slate.
Latte. And yeah, when I was setting up today, I was not framing the camera angle around a Christmas tree, and I was like, what?
Did you cry?
I did.
I cry. I'm crying right now thinking about it.
Both tears in our eyes.
Yeah. What is exciting, though, is the calendar that Veronica chose.
Yes.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Beautiful. Veronica, take a bow while you're chewing the candy.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's a beautiful calendar.
Thank you.
Well, what separates this year's calendar from years past?
Well, last year's was
Just
basic and
It was
boring.
basic. It was a basic.
It's a basic
calendar. I beat myself at times. I
Oh,
saved
thank you.
I
That's
saved you
a
the
new
trouble.
Noel in 2023.
New Noel in 2023 bleeps himself.
Noel bleeps himself, Carol.
That's right. That's right. But yeah, she's right though. It was a basic B calendar.
Basic be Carol.
And for someone that likes pictures and sceneries and all that good stuff, he had to have it.
We had to have it.
Yeah,
We had to have it.
Yeah.
And we got it.
Yeah. We got it, and not only that. Do you tell? You haven't told the audience yet your personal calendar.
So we have, and I know they're thinking like, who uses calendars? We all have apps.
well, then
and
they
stuff.
should shut up.
They should shut up because here's the
Okay,
thing.
leave my show.
I know. We
Stop listening.
Get out. I think that's one of the things that I love is I think from the time that I grew up, calendars that you can physically see and like look at the date and write a little thing.
Yeah.
It's just the way that I do things.
Me too.
And
I jot down I'm going to be gone this time. I'm
Yeah.
doing this thing. If someone says, "Oh, on this day," I just put a little note.
I need to look at it.
Yeah,
and
if it's like a big thing. If
Totally.
Obviously, my little meetings go in the digital calendar.
Sure, and
I
it'll
hit
remind you and say in 15 minutes you got to talk to this person,
Yeah.
and you hit dismiss.
Dismiss, as in I don't stop. Please stop reminding me. I'm not going to attend this meeting. I don't care that I told them I would.
But a
Yeah.
physical calendar, it does help because you can glance over and you can be like, oh, that day. Yeah, I remember that day. My personal calendar for my office was a gift from some wonderful coworkers.
Yeah?
I don't know who.
No, well, there's only a few options, though, Jacob.
It's a Ted Lasso calendar.
Yes.
Yes. And right now, my office, it's on January, and it has a picture of Ted, and it says, smells like potential.
Yeah.
Which is good because my office reeks. No.
It's a nice smell, though. The potential. The smell of potential.
Yeah, it is. Actually,
it helps to kind of counteract what you're dealing with in there.
I know. I do have a candle in my office, so my office smells nice.
I
actually.
don't. I picked the wrong candle.
You did.
It's a problem.
We all learned this holiday season that Noel's candle selection was not the right choice.
No.
Why?
I normally I feel like I'm on the ball with
Yeah,
candle selection.
yeah, you
I
usually-
wanted a peppermint candy cane thing, and so I thought, well, this will be nice. We'll mix it in with the rest.
Yeah.
And then every time I would light it, all you could smell anywhere on Earth was peppermint candy cane, and it was too much, and it was awful.
It was so strong. It wasn't awful, but it was peppermint. It was that it overtook her smell, my smell, and it won.
I didn't like that because I wanted Veronica's candle to be the dominant candle.
Because she had the fir tree.
Oh my gosh.
So nice.
That
so
was
nice.
great.
Best one.
That was the best one.
What's your calendar?
Oh, mine's awesome. Mine's actually, I think, adjacent to yours.
It is. They're
different era,
companions.
but similar kind of thing. Bob Ross.
The original Ted Lasso.
I'm a big Bob Ross fan. So
Absolutely.
I'm
He's a
excited
hero.
about this. So I have the Bob Ross calendar.
Yeah.
And it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I got a beautiful little winter image with
Yeah.
lots of mistaken trees.
I love it. I love it. You could say the trifecta of like good uplifting people would be Bob Ross, Mr. Rogers, and Ted Lasso, right? I think
You
so.
put those three in a room and everyone's going to be fine.
Everybody's gonna be okay. Everybody's gonna be okay.
Everyone's going to get through it because they'll be like,
Yeah.
you know what? It can't be that bad.
Can't be that bad.
Yeah.
Things are fine.
Yeah. And how about you, Ronnie? Did you get a calendar for your room as well?
I did. It's just color, a lot of color.
Okay,
Like
so it's
flowers,
colorful.
It's flowers.
and
Yeah.
roses. And
Oh, I love that.
You love flowers.
yeah, I do.
That's
I do. I
nice.
love them.
That's perfect for you.
Yeah,
I love
and
it.
they're colorful. The colors are
It's
just
the
very
environment.
vibrant.
Yeah.
So it's vibrancy.
Vibrance.
Yes.
A vibrant 2023.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, before we get into today's subject, what are this is a good time to kind of reflect a little bit. What are our hopes together here in 2023? What's something that we'd like to see happen? You can say, I don't know, just as a general thing or like, vision.
I would like for the people. That's all of us.
All of us.
I'm not leaving anyone out of this.
We
The
the
people
people.
in general
Okay.
to become 2% friendlier with each other.
I think that's
I'm not asking for
No, the whole shebang.
I'm not asking to get back to like pre-pandemic levels.
Yeah.
I'm saying I just want a 2% improvement.
I agree.
I think if we could all look at what's going on and just think like I need to be 2% better.
Yeah.
I think that would put us on the right direction.
Yeah. I think that is a fair request.
That's my goal for
Yeah.
for the year.
Ronnie, you want to think for a second or you want me to you got it?
Less grumpy, more happy.
Less grumpy, more happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
So in addition,
Yeah.
I added
Mine is
Yeah.
mine is a companion to all what you guys have said because the first thing that came to mind is like be nicer on flights.
Yeah. On flights. Yeah.
Be nicer on flights. This entire here's the thing. All these airlines canceled so many planes. And I know there were people just hanging out at airports and they were stuck and it was awful and terrible. But I would say 99.99999% of the time, the employee, the person working for the airline, has nothing to do with the fact that your flight isn't going up into the sky.
Yeah.
So you got to ease off on those people. They're getting paid to work. And so, yeah, did the airline screw you over? Is that bad? Sure. Should you file a complaint? Maybe. But maybe don't give the person who's just doing their best to get you somewhere that hard of a time.
Yeah, it's brutal for them right now.
It really is.
Because the airline industry just crapped the bed.
It really did.
Can I say crap?
You can say crap. Crap is fine.
The airline industry crapped the bed over the last little while. Southwest Airlines just exploded the entire thing.
Yeah.
It's all and then apparently the Department of Transportation just had a computer failure that took everything down internationally for an hour.
Yeah.
And an hour in flights
is an eternity.
Is a nightmare.
It is
for weeks.
If you're sitting on the plane and the air isn't flowing yet, and you're on the tarmac and you're sitting there for an hour, you age 5 years.
You age 5 years, but that's just the people on the plane. You got to remember that plane has to get somewhere, and that someone on that side is expecting to be on that plane, and then the person on that plane expects to get to the next plane, and they're all connecting to one another. I mean, the whole thing is this gigantic puzzle.
It totally is.
And you screw it by an hour. And the whole thing explodes.
The whole thing comes apart. It really does. It really does. So, and I get, I was fortunate because I didn't have to get on a plane this Christmas, but I did last year, and it was just as bad back then, and it's been bad. And all I see are these viral videos of people melting down and like strangling flight attendants, and you're like, I was like, I don't think they're doing anything that they're trying to make your life terrible. You know what I mean?
They're one of the few people who's making an effort to fix it.
Totally, they're trying to make this work.
There are so many people in very, very fancy C-suite offices who caused the mess.
Yes,
like for various stupid reasons.
Yeah.
Who you're not talking to, right?
Yeah.
And they've basically said to their staff, well, handle it.
Handle it.
And they're paying them,
pennies.
They're paying them nothing.
Yeah.
And they're having to slog all around the countryside, right? And they're upset too.
Yeah.
And then you aren't the first person to yell at them. They got yelled at by 17 other people.
It's been going on
just 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, this entire day.
Yeah.
So I just think if we can try as a people to all the requests, 2% nicer, kinder, less
2%
grumpy,
nicer, less grumpiness in general,
and chill out on your flights on the staff.
Yeah, I'm gonna change mine.
Okay,
I want everybody gets puppy.
Everybody gets you get a puppy, and you get a puppy, and you get a puppy.
Caveat though.
Okay,
the puppy gets to still live with its mom.
Oh, okay.
And its brothers, like they still you get
it's a family.
You get to spend time with the puppy, but it's not your puppy. Like you get to have some puppy time. Everybody gets puppy time.
I love
but
that.
the puppy goes back to mom after the puppies.
Okay, I thought you were saying everybody inherits a puppy like a dog family. It was like you could.
Or that if you get the dog family and you're fine with that, then you can have like 19 puppies and a mom. Yeah. Don't worry about Dad. He's roaming the countryside. He's roaming the hills. Yeah.
That reminds me of I know it's so silly to talk about skits, but there was a comedy show on MTV in the 90s called The State, and they had a hilarious game show where if you answer the question correctly, you'd win an orphan. And the people who are on the panel are like, wait, what? And they're like, and he answers the thing. He's like, you get these 2 kids, and he's like, I live in an apartment. I can't possibly. And they keep answering incorrectly to not get orphans, but they inadvertently keep winning orphans.
What?
It was so funny. It was so funny. She's like, I can't possibly care for 15 children. And like, too bad. Tell them what they won. You won. You won Roger and Sarah and whatever.
It's so sad because it's like that joke is and it's flipping hilarious.
It's hilarious. It's twisted.
Dark.
It is so dark. I know.
Some poor like that's the truth. That's the thing that's sad about it is it's the truth. People are like, I can't. What am I going to do with a child?
These children? I can't.
I don't know what to do with the child. And so they just dumped them in an orphanage. Then you go, but they're people.
Yeah,
they're young people.
Right.
And if you wonder why the world's a mess, you know?
Yeah.
I am.
I know.
I have plans for how to solve that.
He's gonna rescue all the children.
Yeah.
I believe it.
I love kids.
I know you do. And I think that is what you should accomplish this year.
This year. You got it. All right, new goal. So forget the puppy thing. Forget the 2% nicer. Solve orphans.
Solve orphans this year. Well, that was a great intro to it was a good, positive, classic Biofriendly Podcast intro. But today we're going to go, I was looking for how do we start out the year? You know, you often look backwards, you kind of reflect on what happened in 2022. And I saw this headline and I was like, this is perfect.
I like to brush my teeth when I start the year.
You do?
Yeah.
Just at the start of the year?
Yeah.
Once.
Yeah, well, you can't go.
Can't do it every day. Yeah. Come on. Dentists right now listening. The subject today is there have been 146 new species discovered in 2022.
Wow.
146. You guys.
I wonder if they just like up in heaven, they're just printing new ones.
Yeah, right.
You know, just dropping them in.
Are they just making new ones up there? Is there just a new, and it's like, let's throw a couple more down this year. Let's throw a couple more. How many? 146. Yeah, because you do get a feel in the world that we live in today that everything has been mapped, right? We've all seen it. You can go to Google and you can type in your address and you can literally see like your kid running in the driveway and you can see it like frozen in time because we've seen everything. Uh-huh. But that's not true.
No.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Not at all.
We can't. We have no idea.
No idea.
Have you ever been like either stranded at the side of the road or somebody didn't pick you up a time or you had to walk to whatever and you end up having to walk 20 minutes in a place you're unfamiliar.
Yeah.
And then you walk along and you're like, God, how long? I've been out here forever.
Right.
And time seems to slow down because you have no familiarity with anything.
Yeah.
And you look around and it's like everything you see is something you've never seen before.
Right.
And that 20 minutes, you traveled a mile.
A mile. And you've been surrounded by living, moving earth things that are constantly amazing you. You're like, I've never seen this.
Yeah.
Never seen this.
Yeah. There's 30,000 more of those in every direction.
In every direction. Yeah. So in 2022, researchers at the California Academy of Sciences added 146 new animal, plant, fungi species to the tree of life.
Fun guy.
Fun guy. You're a fun guy. You're a fun gal. Fun guy. Added to the tree of life, enriching our understanding of Earth's biodiversity and strengthening our ability to regenerate the natural world. Yeah, they are saying regenerate the natural world. They are printing them up. The new species include, here they come, ready? Okay. This is the countdown, and then we're going to highlight, we're going to do an episode where I throw some pictures up. So this is, if you're a listener,
There's Bill.
There's Bill. Walter.
Alan. Margaret.
Phil.
Yeah. Penny.
Yeah. And Zenith. No.
Zenith was cool.
Zenith was a TV and a new species.
Is it the X Zenith or
yes,
the Z?
the X Zenith. No, I actually don't know. I think we got to ask Zenith. How do you pronounce it?
How do you like to?
How do you go? How is it?
I don't want to be presented.
I don't want to. I need to know. So here comes the countdown, and we're going to do like we haven't done in a while. We're going to show some pictures of some of the winners.
Oh, wow. Right here on the
right here on the screen.
Wow.
So if you're a listener, this is a time that you might want to tune in because you're going to want to see some clips.
Okay.
44 lizards.
44 lizards?
30 ants.
Wait, they found 44 lizards.
Lizards.
That's a huge percentage of the discovered.
Most.
They must have
It's the most.
They must have just gone to lizard land.
They went to lizard land, and that's
they're oh guys, we haven't been there yet. We forgot to count lizard land.
Have you guys been to lizard land? No.
It's like there's probably some species there we haven't seen
We should
yet.
check them out. Yeah.
That just seems like an absurdly high number when you compare it. Like a fungi, I get.
Yeah, fungi you can get because you can go. Boy, there could be a lot of things growing like in nooks and crannies and crevices of the forest that you would never know. But lizards are walking around.
I feel like they're so slight between one and another. I feel like I get that.
Totally. How do you think that those lizards felt? They haven't been seen this entire time. They've been like,
yeah,
we've been here. Hello.
Nobody named us.
Nobody named us.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, what's gonna surprise me is when they're like, we found 13 new types of rhinoceros.
Right. Yeah, none of the species they're discovering are large.
Yeah.
That'd be true. That'd be crazy. Yeah, whales would be the one thing that you could probably throw in there because anything you go underwater, that's a whole new ball game.
Yeah.
Right. Like I think that when you get excited about 146 new species, that's just like I would say 95% of those are probably land because when you get down to the ocean, it's like we don't even know what's going on down there, man. There's so
although
stuff.
I mean but that's also where a lot of the new stuff is. Though.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Because we're getting deeper and deeper.
Yeah.
We're abyssing.
Yeah, we're abyssing.
Pretty
soon we'll find the mermaids.
Yeah, we'll find the mermaids.
We'll get them.
Oh yeah, I think we have a mermaid working for us over here.
Gosh.
Could very well be. Could very well be.
She's been looking at us with a side eye. I wonder.
Just throw some water on her. There's a movie in the 1980s called Splash with Daryl Hannah and Tom Hanks, and it's about a real life mermaid. I remember that movie making a huge, like, youthful impact on me, and I remember thinking, like, I could be walking around amongst.
I remember her squeaking and all the TVs breaking.
Totally.
That's the scene that sticks in my head the most. From
Totally.
That movie.
She he's like, she says something like, how do you say it where you're from? And she's like, like that, and all the TVs.
All the TVs break. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's she's got legs when she's dry.
She knows how to use them.
She knows she's got legs. She knows how to use them. She walks around in the world when she's dry, and then if she gets wet, then her fins grow. It's a great little comedy.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'll have to watch it.
Anyway, it's a good one. Well, I don't know if it's a good one. It's been a long time since I've seen that one.
Travolta turned that role down.
He did? Travolta was supposed to be the Tom Hanks
He
role?
was supposed to be Tom Hanks.
He would have been really good in that.
He would have been really good.
But
But I think that I think sometimes these things are right, you know?
Yeah, they sometimes get it right.
Yeah, like he turned it down, and then I think Tom Hanks was the perfect guy.
Yeah.
It worked out.
Yeah, it's just like how Magnum P.I. was supposed to be Indiana Jones.
That's right. Harrison Ford. That's right. And he turned it down.
Yep. And Sean Connery was supposed to be the Lawrence Fishburne character in The Matrix.
Right. And that wouldn't have been as good.
Oh.
I mean, he would have been great.
Take the red pill.
He'd have been great. I think any of these actors would have been great. But it's but I do think that
it works itself out for a reason.
Sometimes it works out.
Yeah. And I actually think Tom Cruise was in Top Gun, but I feel like they had, maybe it was always him. But I feel like there was somebody else. There was another one that they had somebody else in mind, and he ended up getting it. And I can't imagine that franchise not being him.
Yeah, it'd be totally different.
It was probably Gary Busey.
I think it might have been Modine.
Oh, Matthew Modine?
I think so.
Yeah, that actually makes sense.
For those of you who don't know who Matthew Modine is, watch Stranger Things.
Stranger Things.
Yeah.
He's the beautiful, handsome, older scientist.
He's
doctor.
Papa.
It's Matthew Modine. In the 80s and 90s, he was kind of a, up-and-coming sex symbol kind of,
I think
I can see that.
he was a little bit of a bigger star at that
time.
point.
Yeah, I think so.
And he was supposed to be that role. And then
For which one?
He turned it down.
For Top Gun.
No way.
Yeah.
Instead of Tom Cruise?
Instead of Tom Cruise, yeah. So a lot of these movies, they have these people that they're supposed to do it, and then it doesn't work out, and then they go in a different direction, and you look back and you go, would have been great, but I can't think of it any other way. Right?
Wow.
Yeah. Another funny Top Gun thing.
No, I love it.
Kelly McGillis.
Kelly McGillis
is 5'11". And Tom Cruise is like 5'5", 5'6".
Yeah. He's
right?
not that tall.
So when they were like they had the
She's 5'11".
She's so tall.
That is a very tall.
So they
gal.
had to like at first they tried to just roll with it, and they're like, "This isn't gonna work." She looks like his mom.
So they had to put him
on some boxes and give him special shoes and they had to do creative stuff. But it worked. It worked.
Look, if I ever made it as a star, I would have insisted on boxes for me. Insisted. I would have said, "We're gonna lift me up.
Yeah.
We're gonna make me look like I'm enormous.
Yeah.
Because you can, and then people see you on the red carpet and they go, "Oh, he's smaller." But they forget. They move on. They go, "Oh, he looks huge in movies."
Yep.
I would have done it.
Yeah.
So, all right, back to species. So, 44 lizards, 30 ants, 14 sea slugs. Sea slugs.
Sea slugs. 14.
Yeah, 14.
Wow.
14 flowering plants, 13 sea stars, 7 fishes, 4 beetles, 4 sharks, 3 moths, 3 worms, 2 scorpions, 2 spiders, 2 lichens.
Lichens? They found werewolves? Holy crap.
Lichens. They found 2 werewolves.
Oh my
Carl.
gosh.
George. One
I think that's a kind of moss.
It is probably.
Yeah.
1 toad, 1 clam, 1 aphid, and 1 aphid.
Yeah.
1 aphid, and 1 sea biscuit.
They found the horse sea biscuit, the winner of the Triple Crown?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. He was running, still running. They were like, "We thought you died." And he was like,
Sea biscuit died years ago.
"No, he's just over there." So anyway, that's quite a list, right? That's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah,
and they found 4 beetles.
Yeah,
4.
4.
Did they name them?
They sure did. The
George,
full
Paul, Peter, and Ringo?
Peter.
Have a Peter in there.
Wait. The original 5th Beatle was Pete Best, I think. So that's you're one of those Beatles purists.
And yet I put Ringo in there.
Who'd you get rid of?
Isn't it Peter, Paul, George, and Alvin?
Simon Theodore. The Beatles.
I think I said Paul. I always go Paul Peter because I go to the Apostles.
Peter. Yeah, Peter Paul. So you probably got rid of John.
Paul, George, and Ringo. I forgot John.
So you got rid
of the unimportant one.
Yeah,
okay.
he didn't add anything to that band. Yeah. What I love the idea that there is somebody out there that only acknowledges Pete Best.
It won't say Ringo.
Won't say Ringo. I will not acknowledge Ringo's presence. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Okay.
They probably did name one of those Beatles Peter, though.
Yeah, they probably did. So let's begin showing some of the highlights of our
Let's get into it.
And I had to do something different because I normally, back in the day on the old school podcast, I used to have my iPad as the device to show and present pictures to Noel.
But we don't like digital anymore.
We don't like digital. We've gone all analog. This is now being shot on a film camera, which has become incredibly expensive.
But worth it, I think.
It's worth it.
Yeah.
So the first thing up right now is this thing, a chocolate frog.
That frog is made of chocolate? I thought that was only in Harry Potter world.
Yeah, exactly. So the Peruvian Amazon herpetologist, which sounds like somebody who studies the herpes, followed
I think it's what?
Herpetologist, isn't it?
Herpetologist.
It looks like it. It looks like I'm saying right.
Yeah, no, I think you could be right. I've never heard of that one.
It could be knowing. Hold on. I think
herpetology.
Herpetology.
That sounds problematic.
It does. It does. Followed a distinctive frog call to one of the rarest habitats in the forest, the Amazon peatlands, or peat whiskey. Yeah. Their researchers dug up a new species of burrowing frog, the Synapteranus danta. The frog has been nicknamed the tapir frog for its distinctive-looking snout.
Yeah, as you can see right here, it's got a snout for a frog.
The species was known to locals, but had yet to be described by science. So people had seen it before in this area. The locals were like, "We know that frog."
I wonder how many of the new species that come out that there's some guys like, "Are you kidding me?
Yeah, right.
You did not just discover this. There are thousands of these in my backyard."
And I wrote it down here in our village, but we're like, well, it doesn't become real until we...
I'm sorry. Until it's documented by the International Society of
Species Acknowledgement. And what's the abbreviation?
ISSA. ISSA.
ISSA. The International... Species Acknowledgement.
International Society of Species Acknowledgement has got to be my favorite society.
Totally. What do you do? Well, we acknowledge species. Yeah. So they exist, but once we acknowledge them, then
they really exist. Until then, they weren't
they're
here.
Not. They're mythical.
They were not doing anything. Yeah.
Yeah, so a past study found peatlands in the Peruvian Amazon store 10 times as much carbon as the nearby undisturbed rainforest. A conservation area has been proposed for the region, and researchers say the tapir frog is yet another reason to conserve this peatland and surrounding areas. So there's the chocolate frog for you.
That's the chocolate frog. Do you remember the movie Medicine Man?
I do.
Yeah. So
Who's in Medicine Man?
Sean Connery.
Sean Connery.
Yeah. I found the cure for the plague of the 21st century, and now I've lost it.
Oh, the trailer lines, right?
Yeah.
The trailer lines, the big, when we were kids, if a movie was coming up, they would run the trailer on TV so frequently that you'd get these snap lines from the movie and you'd just hold on to them forever. And sometimes they wouldn't even make it into the movie, but like they'd be in the trailer.
They would have the guy sit there and say the line so they could put it in the trailer.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And I found the cure for the 21st.
I think that might have been one of those, actually.
I'm sure
the 21st century, and now I've lost it.
I've lost it. They did it all the time.
But the whole idea was that he found a plant that could cure cancer, and then they burned down that portion of the rainforest, and it was gone. Yeah. Which was
sounds like humans.
A very early environmentalist kind of movie, but they're trying to find a good way to get people to have an impact with it, right?
Wow.
But that's actually kind of the thing. Like there's so much there's so much of the planet that we haven't looked at, and when you look at places like rainforest, you can't go. Boy, you gotta be nuts to go deep into a rainforest because there's it wants to kill you.
It wants to kill you. It is the space of Earth.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, well,
it's dangerous.
You go super deep in an ocean or super deep into a jungle or a forest, and that's where you die.
That's where you die. So heed that warning, kids. Don't explore the rainforest.
Yeah,
you will die.
You'll die. Or if you go, then go prepared, right?
Go with Sean Connery.
Go with Sean Connery because he can make you. Well, there's people who have experience with it, who've figured things out, who've been taught how to do it, and then you make it.
Yeah,
but. The point is, it's not like we're walking around it like you do in a city. It's like, the animals in a city we pretty much know. The different bugs and things. Like we got those figured out because everybody sees them all the time.
Right.
But you go into places like this, we have no idea what's in there. We have no idea what could be discovered.
Exactly.
We have no idea.
And that's what's cool is along the way, I don't know if it's specifically in this article because I read a lot, but there some of the discoveries even came from there were children that were outside playing and they saw it and thought it was interesting, and the very possibility that anyone can be the discoverer of these things. They're you know what I mean? Like you just the fact that it's obvious or right in front of you on a trail. There are so many things in this world that just they haven't taken the time. And
ISSA is very busy, and they can't catalog everything all at once.
They can't acknowledge it all.
They can't acknowledge everything. So if you see it, get your photo with it.
If you see
name it.
If you see something, say something.
Say something.
That's the ISSA catchphrase, isn't it?
That's it. That's what ISSA is known for.
Somebody at the organization's like, that's our catchphrase, and somebody's whispering in their ears like, oh no, we can't use that one.
Okay.
Here comes the sunbirds, a new species from Indonesia's Wakatobi Islands.
Right here, folks.
Right here. A group of researchers in the tropical Wakatobi Islands in central Indonesia found several new species of sunbirds. This one, for example, the tiny archipelago. Am I saying that right?
Archipelago.
Archipelago is part of the Wallacea region that many scientists consider a living laboratory for the study of evolution. I didn't know that. That's interesting. With endemic species being newly identified to science in recent years, the researchers said their findings reinforce recommendations to protect the Wakatobi Islands as an endemic bird area. Yeah. So this is one of the new species right here. They haven't named it. So send us your best name.
Send us your best name. We'll say it. We'll pass it on to ISSA.
Yeah, pass it on to ISSA. Do you have a name idea for this guy? Sorry. I'll show Veronica. That's that guy right there. Give me your best.
Yeah, I think we should call him the red-footed lion.
The red-footed lion. It's perfect. You're an ISSA natural.
For those of you who are not watching the show on film, but are just listening, what we're looking at is a bird with a very long, black, kind of thin, pointy beak, blue kind of
throat, neck
area, yellow breast, and blue feet.
Yeah.
And it's clearly not a lion.
Yeah, but I think
So
your
that
name...
was the joke. If you're wondering what the joke was...
It was a killer
Neither
joke.
the colors nor the... Anyways.
Anyways. So here's where we get into lizard territory.
Okay.
Right here, you're seeing an image of... what is that? They've shown an image of 7 species, but they found 8 new geckos from Madagascar. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Geckos are adorable.
They are adorable, but here's why they couldn't find them. All of these are the size of your thumb.
Really?
Yeah. So... Depends on how big your thumb is, but not an easy species to spot. Kind of little, right?
Yeah.
Though they were elevated to species level following DNA studies of what was, for decades, thought to be a single species group of dwarf gecko. So there were, basically, for the past few decades, we've been like, oh, those are all dwarf geckos. And those guys were like, we don't all look the same.
I cannot believe
you've
categorized me like this.
This is unbelievable. We are very different, and classic ISSA.
I have feelings. I have emotions. And the balls on my fingers are slightly larger than Wayne's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Than Wayne's.
So
Wayne's balls on
everybody says Wayne's balls are tiny.
And then they're right.
Yeah.
And my balls are big.
My balls are a lot bigger. on the end of my fingers.
Yes.
And toes.
So they add them all up. There could be up to 18 distinct genetic lineages. Scientists have found and named at least 150 new to science species from Madagascar in the last 30 years. So they're finding more all the time. So here you go. So there you go. There's some lizards, cute lizards for you.
Those are really cute lizards.
Yeah,
I like that.
A bunch of them. Okay, now this is interesting. In Japanese waters, a newly described anemone lives on the back of a hermit crab.
What?
Mm-hmm. A newly described anemone species has been found off the coast of Japan.
So this picture you see here, it must be much more tiny than this.
Yes.
That's just a very close-up zoom.
I know it looks like a pasta dish, but it's not.
It's not a pasta dish.
Here, sorry, Veronica. There you go.
It looks kind of like glass noodles.
It does look like glass noodles.
Yeah.
It looks like you'd go to a restaurant, like a Korean or Japanese restaurant, and you go, "I'll have the anemone, please."
Yeah, it does. And so much shining an orange light through glass noodles.
Yeah, absolutely. So it says they found off the coast of Japan and appears to live exclusively on the shells of one hermit crab species. Exclusively.
Wow.
So this thing will look at other hermit crabs and things and go, nah, not gonna do it. Not gonna do it.
Wouldn't be pretty.
I'm so glad you got that reference. Not gonna do it. First of their kind video recordings of the hermit crab and an anemone duo, they're a dynamic duo, show the hermit crab moving to a new shell and spending more than 40 hours poking, peeling, and dragging the anemone to come along.
With him?
Yes.
They're married.
They're married.
They're in love.
It's literally the hermit crab is the wife, and the anemone is the husband being dragged by the hand through the mall.
I like this shell. And the wife's like,
come on.
No, we have a new home now. We're moving to a bigger shell. Look at the size of me. I've grown. Let's go.
Let's go. And he's like, and just gets dragged along.
Fine.
40 hours.
Just want to watch football.
Oh, I just want to watch football. Yep. Researchers believe the hermit crab and the anemone are in an obligate symbiotic relationship.
Wow.
You called it. Or that they need each other to survive. The anemone eats falling debris and protects the hermit crab from parasites and predators, and in turn gets to hitch a ride to fresh feeding grounds.
Wow.
Yeah, it's cute.
That's great.
This summer, Pixar, the anemone and hermit crab.
This, so far, I would say...
Is your favorite?
Is probably the winner.
That's the winner?
Of this year so far. We got to see what else is out there, but that is a banging species.
It is a banging species.
Yeah.
Yep. ISSA was like, yeah.
Boom.
Super hot. So are we going to award like the MVP, the most valuable species? MVS?
MVS.
Okay, the MVS. We all have to vote at the end of our most valuable species. Okay. After 6 months of searching in the private nature reserve he co-founded in Costa Rica, Donald Varela Soto found a tiny green tree frog, which he and others named the Tapir Valley tree frog after its home. Boom. That's it right there.
Wow.
Okay. Its only known habitat is the 8-hectare, 20-acre wetland within the Tapir Valley Nature Reserve, which adjoins Tenorio Volcano National Park. Scientists assess the frog's conservation status as critically endangered. We found him, and he's already in trouble.
Oh.
Boo.
Boo.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
He's got those cute freckles and everything.
Cute freckles. He looks like he's part of the Peanuts gang.
Yeah.
It looks like you can call him Peppermint Patty.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. The reserve used to be a cattle pasture, but has since become a living laboratory for forest restoration techniques. It's kind of affirming when you hear that. When you hear
someone looked at it and he's like, "Wait a minute, we can't keep doing the cows here. We can't raise meat. This is an important area." And they buy it and they say we're preserving it, and I'm going to go find this frog. Yeah, because I know it exists.
And I
saw it in my dreams.
Yeah, we're seeing that more and more. That a lot of these things are saying this used to be this land, and it's a place that's being protected, and that's it's nice to see. It's nice to see that more and more areas of the earth are being like, let's not build a sunglasses hut here. We don't need another one.
Yeah.
Are those still around?
Right there. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. That's where you get the highest quality sunglasses.
It's true. And they usually have 2 or 3 of them in the same shopping center for some reason.
Next to the Starbucks.
Yeah, or next to the Starbucks. It's like Starbucks, Sunglasses Hut. Yeah. Sunglasses Hut, Starbucks.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because different parts of the mall are far away from other parts of the mall.
They are. The West Wing is not close to the East Wing.
Don't ask me to walk an extra 100 feet for my sunglasses.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I wouldn't dare. I would never ask you to do.
And that's why I'm saying you're wrong. There should be a sunglasses hut in there because I can't get sunglasses.
Forget the freckled frog. I want my sunglasses.
Now you're getting it.
Now you're getting it. Okay, here's a nice creepy crawly in Thailand, a well-known wildlife. Oh, this is crazy.
Okay.
In Thailand, a well-known wildlife YouTuber, Jocho Sipawat.
Nice.
Found a new genus of tarantula and collaborated with a scientist to discover the species. Toxinus bambus, nicknamed the Bambutula. Bambutula. Okay. Its name honors Thai King Taskin the Great.
Okay.
So I love a YouTuber. Well done. I usually write you guys off as being kind of wastes of society, but if you're discovering species, then my kids would be so sad.
That's a good way to label an entire group of people.
Sorry, I have YouTuber fatigue in my house because we just literally had to have like a conversation with Elliot because he watches a lot of YouTubers, and their voices of these guys are grating.
Oh,
they're really grating.
And they don't have sound quality control, so they'll scream. And oh my God.
You know what I'm talking about.
Ear breaks open.
So I don't.
You're right. They're the worst.
Oh my God.
I don't mean to throw the entire YouTube community under the bus, but it is personal because these guys, it's like you walk in your house and they're going. And you look over and they're screaming playing a video game. Yeah. And I wanted to grab my kid and just be like, why don't you play the video game?
Yes.
You do it.
You do it. Put a camera on yourself. Pretend like you're famous. See what happens.
Film yourself playing a video game and see how wonderful it will be for you to discover a level on a game rather than watch this guy discover a level on a game and scream. Anyway,
I agree. I agree. There certainly are some YouTubers out there who will destroy your sense of smell.
Yes, but not this guy, Jocho Sipawat.
No.
You're out there finding the animals and you're doing the right thing and keep at it.
I imagine there's probably a lot of YouTubers doing that, but video game YouTubers happen to be very popular.
Yes.
Because that's what boys do.
That's what boys do.
That's what they used to play with toys. They used to play with guns, toy guns.
Toy guns.
They used to, this is what boys used to do other stuff. They throw balloons at each other, toilet paper houses.
Yeah.
Now
it's just.
They play video games and they watch people who are better at playing video games
than them
on YouTube.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. So there's
another. Do you know
who's
a secret thing? Can I give? I'm going to give away a secret.
Give away a secret.
Do you know who is a flipping?
Say it softly.
A flipping video game ninja, like a killer.
Ninja.
A killer. Someone who goes on who can play, who can straight play,
who can crush,
kill us both.
Yeah.
Tear us to pieces.
Yeah.
Our own Veronica Colon.
Professional gamer.
Yeah, she is like
assassin.
She's a ninja. She's an assassin. She's killer.
You think right now she's wearing headphones for the podcast?
Yeah.
She's gaming as we speak. Yeah. She's in Halo crushing. Yeah. Right now.
Halo.
Yeah. What was your game? Was it?
It was Halo.
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty and Destiny.
Destiny.
Nice. And some Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto, Destiny. Those are all fun games. So yeah, you're right. I forgot that about her.
And being a lady in a universe of dudes.
Universe.
She was the most popular gamer.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Follow me on YouTube.
Veronica's like, I have a gaming channel where I watch games and play games.
Subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Subscribe to my YouTube. Hit subscribe, guys. But anyway, there are some good YouTubers out there, and there's that one guy that I really like, Coyote or something. He's the one I've talked about him on the podcast before, where he'll take the sting or the bite of a painful. He'll do it for the channel. So he'll get like the bullet ant or whatever. That's literally like the highest level of threshold of pain, threshold of pain, and he'll get the bite and he'll film himself going through the agony of getting like the sting of the bite, and it's. I mean, I would not be able to do it, but watching him do it, you are kind of like. Wow. Why am I so fascinated watching him just suffer through this bite?
Well, I think there's probably a natural curiosity. So what would it be like?
Yeah.
What would that feel like? And when you watch, it's like you're getting some kind of flavor of what it would be like to have that happen to you.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So before I leave this tarantula, I'll bring him back up real quick. The tarantula lives inside bamboo stalks and is the first known species found on only one bamboo species. So again, very picky species here.
I think that probably is why they don't get discovered, right?
Yeah,
because they don't spread away from something. But that also makes them very vulnerable.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
it does. It makes it. You know, if a panda likes that kind of bamboo, they're just going to get crunched and wouldn't even know. No. Panda would be like, not even. I didn't even realize they just ate a tarantula.
Yeah, or tarantula, as we call them in my home.
They call them what?
Tarantulas.
Tarantulas. I like that. It's way better. Tarantula.
When Owen was a kid, he'd be like, or tarantulas? And I'd be like, oh my God.
Kid pronunciations are the best. So we're coming near the end, and I don't have to do every single one. There was just a few that I wanted to highlight, and I know we've already been going through them.
We've got high speed. We're going to do high speed fly through.
Okay, spectacular new fish species is the first to be named by a Maldivian scientist. A colorful reef fish from the Maldives is the first
Maldives.
Maldives? Mm-hmm. Oh, I have said Maldives forever, but it's Maldives?
Yeah.
Wow, Maldives.
It's actually Maldives, but yes.
Maldives, okay. Is the first new to science species described by Maldivian scientist? Maldivian? I don't know.
That's too much for me.
It's too much. The fish,
now we've gone one step beyond my knowledge.
The Cirrahilibus phenomena.
We should do a supercut of you trying to pronounce scientific names.
I know,
my
right?
favorite thing.
They would never hire me at ISSA because I'd be like, I don't know.
I don't know. After this podcast, though, because you've kind of made this fun.
I made it fun. Okay,
and
good.
I think that ISSA probably struggles in that department.
And they're like, we could use a guy like him. Was named by Ahmed Najib, a biologist from the Maldives Marine Research Institute, the MMRI, after the local word for rose. And this is,
the rosefish.
The rosefish. Oh, very colorful.
It's a very appropriate name.
Yes, absolutely. Very
beautiful
colorful.
fish.
Yes.
Beautiful fish.
Okay. So
Next.
Okay.
It's another frog.
Yes, it's another frog, but I have to call this one out because she was in the news recently, and so I thought this was pretty great, and I wanted to talk about the story of the news real quick.
Okay.
A tiny tree frog has been named after climate activist Greta Thunberg and her work highlighting the urgency of climate change. This is that frog. So the frog has been named Pristamantis Greta Thunbergae.
Well, that's just cruel.
I know, right? Come on. They're trying to do it out of flattering, but it's like
pick one. Tell everybody that's in the name of it's in her honor.
Yes, it's in her honor.
So we're calling it the Greta frog.
The Greta frog, but not.
And everybody's gonna know.
Yeah. You don't need to.
Like seriously, putting the Greta Thunberg in the middle. It's just you're insulting the frog and all of our ears.
Greta. But I wanted to bring it up because I did. Did you guys get to see at the end of last year the ultimate thing that happened with Greta and Twitter and this guy who was like a total grade A jerk?
She pwned him?
No. So yes, in the biggest way. This guy was a terrible human being.
Okay.
Pimp, had been in trouble with the law for possible trafficking. Romanian guy, thug, but he'd been on social media as an influencer because he'd been like a troll. He has a lot of money and he's always showing off his fancy cars. I forget his name. It's like Andrew Tate. And he just out of the blue, like tweeted out a picture of his $1 million car. And he was like, "Hey, Greta, how do you like it?" And he basically was like flaunting the fact that he has this car that, emissions and like how much he screws with the environment because he has wealth and power. So she tweets back. He says something and she says, email me at smalldeenergy.com. Whatever, just does that back to him, right? He's silent for 12 hours, doesn't say anything. Then he finally goes to this great trouble of like a video of him eating pizza. And he's like, the retort is like, I don't care what you say. The pizza brand that he ordered was in Romania, and he was wanted by his own country, by the law. And so they were able to find and prove that he was in his country illegally, and he got arrested.
Oh my God.
All for flexing.
All to try to flex back.
All to try to flex back to Greta, a kid, about how much money and power and fame he has that he got arrested. It was cherry on top.
I mean, let's all be 2% nicer to each other and this won't happen.
Right.
It really.
Right. It was all an action to be mean, cruel. I mean, this guy had made a complete career out of doing this, but he just by going after Greta and her saying one little joke, it got in his head.
Just deep enough
that he had to reply that he forgot that he was wanted by the Romanian authorities. And then he sent out a picture of him eating the pizza. So they were like, oh, he's here. We got him.
Let's get him.
Go get him right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love it.
Wow. Yeah. I think
2% nicer. No.
That's the social media is a problem, right? Because you figure here's a guy who's famous for trolling.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's famous, because he was trying to troll. He's like, troll. Who's famous? Greta Thunberg's famous. Okay, let's troll her.
Let's troll her. And right? I buy things that spit out more emissions than any auto in the world.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So who's going to be the most angry about this? Probably Greta Thunberg. Let's troll her.
Let's get her.
Like that. This is an example of the problem right there. Like that's just not very nice and not very kind.
It's not.
To have that be your business.
Yeah.
Is to go, make some other person's life worse for that moment.
Yeah.
And people watch it because we can't help but avoid it. We cannot avoid a train wreck.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And
you can't wait. I'm sorry. You can't avoid a train wreck, everybody, just to be clear. But when you see one, you can't avoid staring. That's it.
Thresh of pain hold is what you were saying.
Thresh of pain hold is what I meant to say in this situation. God, that's hilarious. First podcast of the year, people. Give us a break.
It is. We don't have tags to work our lips out.
Yeah, that's right.
But anyway, before you feel bad for the guy who got arrested, apparently he did a lot of illegal, terrible things. So,
well, he got arrested for some reason.
He got arrested because he was known for doing some bad stuff. So,
I also, look, I think that sometimes Greta Thunberg can get a little ahead of herself on some of her statements. I think that she sometimes goes a little.
Sure.
She doesn't always have as much of the data as maybe she thinks she does, or she has some of the wrong data on some things.
I agree.
But you can't deny that her heart's in the right place.
Yeah.
She's trying to make it a better planet, right? She cares very much about it. It's clearly not a joke that it's important to her.
Yeah.
Clearly it's very, she's legitimately concerned about it.
Yeah.
And trying to do something about it.
I agree, and I think you're right.
I think people ought to kind of let her be.
Yeah, and I think that the antagonism on both sides isn't healthy for anybody. You know what I mean? It's like we need to rally people and get them excited about it, and they don't need to be sitting here attacking her. And she needs to remember that, like, how are you going to win the people over that aren't believing you? How are you going to win them over? How are you going to convince them?
Yeah.
You're gonna, we got to find ways to speak the same language. We're not going to do this.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
Although I got to say, in this instance, not although, this isn't a counter to, this is
the troll.
I think if someone's trolling you and you come back with small D energy, that's a win.
Oh, it's a win.
That's a win.
She 100% got him.
Yeah.
Because
she started it.
He started
She didn't pick a fight. He did.
I agree with you absolutely on that. Everything she said to him, I was like, yes. Yeah. In that instance, don't be 2% nicer. Give a little bit back. Yeah.
Well, and that's also like that. Like really,
it's funny.
If you're gonna get that bent out of shape about what that tells me is that probably there is a small D energy problem.
Totally.
Otherwise, why are you making such a big stink about it?
Totally.
And the response should have been laughy face.
Yeah,
you got me.
Exactly. And exactly that was it was a diss, but it's funny. If you can laugh at yourself, if you're going to go after somebody and say, look at how much I don't care about the environment, look at my $1 million vehicle, and somebody lashes back and gives you a dig, take it. Yeah. You did it too. Yeah. That's part of the fun. Yeah. It should have been a gif of somebody laughing.
Yeah.
Got it. But anyway. Yeah. So, all right, we're going to just do 2-3 more because we're going for anyway, so this is I think the text above the top. Oh, no. Did I forget the little tag? Okay, the Southern Man Sloth The southern maned sloth emerges as a new species. So what scientists thought...
sloth?
Yeah.
That's a decent find. Those are, it's not a walrus.
They're not hard to catch. Yeah. What about that guy? He's not going anywhere. Should we name him? It says no, it's fine. We'll get back to him.
We'll get back to him. Look, ISSA's busy.
ISSA's very busy.
With lichen.
Yeah, lichen. They got werewolves to find. They don't need to name a guy sitting in a tree. Is anybody going to name me? Yeah. What scientists thought was...
scratched to death by a werewolf. I can't worry about the sloth.
Hey, Noel bleeps himself.
Oh, no, I did a bad word.
It's okay. It's the first one of 2023.
First one of 2023.
What scientists thought was one species of maned sloth is now classified as two after reviewing DNA, so morphological and behavioral evidence. The new species, the southern maned sloth, the Bradypus cretinus.
I'm sorry. ISSA. Can we have a conversation?
Can we have a conversation
for a second? Like the familiar names I like.
Yeah.
I like the southern maned sloth. That's good. The familiar one, but some of these scientific names need work.
I know, and it says it's probably Bradypus, but I just said Bradypus because it was funnier to say.
Yeah, Bradypus sounds like it was lived in a house in the 1970s with the stepmother and the stepdad who had the family together.
It has this one has a flatter skull and a head that looks like a coconut. So name Crinitis means hairy. So they named it a lot of mean things. This poor guy is just like
the small-butted, big-headed, face
coconut,
ugly,
hairy,
eyeball squinty,
ugly dude, and he's just look at him. He's like
he's gorgeous.
Oh,
he's adorable.
You guys are jerks, man.
Or she, they. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever that guy, girl.
Let's name this sloth. Let's name it. What's a better name for this? For this adorable critter right here.
Welly.
Welly. Mm-hmm. I love it. Welly. We found a welly. And it's like, yeah. Welly. It's a welly sloth. Perfect.
It gave me Teddy vibes. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, it does have Teddy.
Like a little teddy bear.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Welly Teddy.
Welly Teddy.
Welly Teddy sloth.
I'm starting to think this is how it happens.
Yeah. We're starting to sound like ISSA. They're listening to this episode and they're like, that's exactly what we do. What you just did is what we do.
There were 9 people in the room. Everybody wanted to add something. And we had to use Latin.
We had to go with that freaking coconut-headed, hairy thing. Last two here.
It kind of has a beak on his nose. Yeah. He's beak-nosed.
Everybody gets a vote. They have like this great name and there's somebody who's like, nobody liked my idea, which was Bradypus.
It's like, fine. Add Bradypus. I'm a real Greta Thunberg fan. All right, put Greta Thunberg in the name. Jeez.
Did you guys see on Twitter how she owned that guy? We got to name the frog after her. The world's largest giant water lily. So take a look at me now. Look at that.
Oh my God, Phil Collins?
Yeah, take a look at me now.
That.
They should have
named it.
How did they
miss that?
I know. How do you miss the world's giant water lily?
You could put a man frog on that
thing. I know. Measuring an impressive 3.3 meters, 10 feet across, the giant Bolivian water lily is the largest in the world. The aquatic plant is found in the wetlands of the Bolivian Amazon and has been assessed as vulnerable to extinction. The dried specimen of the water lily was hiding right under the noses of researchers at RBG's Q's Herbarium. Am I saying that right?
I think herbarium. I think it depends. If you're like my dad, you'd definitely say herb.
Okay.
Yeah.
Herbarium.
Yeah, but I would say, I think probably herbarium.
Herbarium. Yeah. For more than 170 years before being identified as a new species. So it was there for 170 years, and then they were like...
There are people literally probably trampolining on that thing.
Yeah, they were jumping.
For years, just living the dream on those.
Just
and they're like, oh, but it's not a new species.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what am I jumping on, you dip?
Yeah, exactly. So they named that one.
Sorry, ISSA. I didn't mean to get so passionate.
ISSA's like, it's
I just get frustrated when something is 10 feet across and you haven't discovered it yet.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. They're like, we're trying. We got werewolves this year, man.
Didn't we mention the lichen?
Did we mention the 2 lichens? All right, last 2. We have the last one. I have to grab a picture of. It's another frog. It's only worth mentioning because it was named after Family Guy's Seth MacFarlane.
Okay, how did they do this?
Okay, so at first I was annoyed, and then I found out it was because he financed it.
Oh, well.
I mean, he financed like the research, like he was a donor.
Yeah. To
the research, and so that's why he put his money on it.
Did he put the money in so that he could get the name?
I don't know.
On it?
Did he Larry David it in Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Yes.
Did he put his money in just so they name it after him? I don't know.
I feel like if I was gonna I don't know. If you're gonna put your money in that, I feel like you gotta. I don't know.
You gotta say, don't name it after me.
I think
that's
so.
not what I'm in it for.
I think I'm gonna say give a nice descriptive name that describes what you found.
We need to get ISSA on the phone.
Yeah.
Because did Seth go? No, please don't. And we said we have to.
And he's like, I'm sorry that we have a rule that if you fund,
you saw the Greta Thunberg frog. Well, you're naming after the people that fight.
But at least he helped find it.
Yes. So it says a New to Science frog has been found in Ecuador and named in honor of Seth MacFarlane.
New to Science Frog is a great band.
New to Science Frog.
Yeah.
We're gonna go see them.
Yeah.
The U.S. film and television creator responsible for the show Family Guy. The frog's vibrant patterns, which I do have. He's black and yellow spots. Wow. Very pretty. Wow. The only reason it's not here is it was a YouTube video that they had in the article. So the frog was found of part of an expedition to catalog and protect species in the Andes. Researchers have found 4 specimens of this frog. Anyway,
what's the name? Like, how do they work it in there?
You'd think that they would say it in this dead thing, but they don't. What the heck? So it's probably
the headline is they name a frog after Seth MacFarlane, and they don't tell you what the name is.
It's probably Seth MacFarlane Agnes Bloom. So I don't know. Why wouldn't it name it? I literally took this from maybe they'll have it in my
I took this from Science Magazine.
This is ISSA's handbook. I had a couple articles, so I wonder if they have the Seth MacFarlane one in here, but I don't think they do. Anyway, my bad, you guys. So now you'll never know. You'll never know. It doesn't exist.
So that adorable many named sloth is difficult not to enjoy as one of the winners. But I think I'm gonna stick with my
original
choice.
pick.
My glass noodle.
Yeah, glass noodle
and
enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think the relationship is what made it special.
It's really cute.
Yeah, it's really cute.
Obligated relationship.
Huh? Yeah, the obligated relationship.
Right.
The
That's
fact that it said it's obligated symbiotic relationship. So it's like one of them is all in, and the other one's like I don't know, man.
I mean,
I tried to move out years ago. She won't let me leave. She won't let me leave. Yeah.
It's like, I can't do that. I mean, I'm probably not gonna do better. She's got a nice smile.
Yeah.
Yells at me a lot.
What do you want to do?
Or in the case of her, it's like, well, he makes a good living.
He's got a good job. I mean,
He's a good father. He's a good father.
He's a good father.
That's the go-to line.
Yeah.
It's like, do you love him? He is such a good father.
He's a good father. And
my children love him.
They love him, and that's all that matters.
Enough.
That's enough. That's all that matters.
I have to think about the children.
I have to. Yeah. I have to. I thought I had this last one to show, but now I can't. I did what I did before. We're done.
We don't want to show anything else. This is it. We've already done too many.
We've done too many. We've gone too far.
We've got too far. That's it.
Chocolate
MVS.
Huh?
MVS.
The MVS goes to the sea anemone on the hermit crab. Yes.
I agree. Would you have had another one you would have chosen?
No, the sloth. The sloth was my other favorite. Mm-hmm. But I feel like the sloth doesn't want us to make him MVS. He wants to just leave him alone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like that sloth is like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
That's the attitude Seth MacFarlane should have had.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
I'm fine.
Don't have to name the freaking
please.
Frog.
I gave you the money to find the species, not to
name it after me.
Yeah. What I'm worried about is it was not the case.
Yeah.
That he paid the money because he was like, I need something to be named after me.
He curbed your enthusiasm so hard.
He did.
That's the show,
How about
y'all.
you? Did you have a
favorite for you?
Yes, no, that one for sure.
You like that one the most?
It's cute. Yeah. Just goes everywhere the other one goes.
So that one wins that is cute, right?
It's the best story. Yeah. It's the best story.
Yeah, the story behind it.
That's what
because I think that they actually do love each other. I don't think.
I think so too.
I think they say obligatory, but I think I'm only saying obligatory because they actually keep each other alive. But I find that to be wonderful.
I think this is Al and Peg Bundy from Married with Children. I think you laugh at the relationship and you go, oh, it's funny because they seem to hate each other, but they love each other. There's
other.
Always those moments are like you could leave if you really wanted to. You don't want to leave.
Yeah,
I agree.
They're meant to be.
Love and marriage. That's the show, y'all. We did it. We crushed it. That was an hour for our first episode back. Isn't that crazy? This was so fun.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun.
It was a good topic, man.
Yeah, it was more species this year. In 2022 than the year before. So they found like twice as many. So just imagine what's going to happen in 2023. But we've got a lot of exciting things coming this year. We have some, new exciting subjects. We've got some stuff that we want to hear from you guys and let us know what you want to talk about. We had somebody request the logging practices last year, so we did that. So we want to keep answering the questions and addressing the environmental topics you guys want to hear about. And then we're going to do some more creative things like we did over the holidays with Halloween and Christmas with our stories.
We are definitely going to expand on the fun games and concepts. We're going to,
If you haven't gone back, I'm going to tell you right now, if you haven't gone back and listened to our New Year's special with our dear friend Clayton Cogswell, it might be one of my favorite things that we've ever done. So I highly recommend you go check that out if you missed it somehow over the holidays and you didn't check it out. So.
It is a pretty ridiculous fun episode. Just to give you a little teaser about it, it's the night. It was the night before Christmas, except it was on New Year's.
Yes.
So we said it was the night before New Year's. Yes. And there's an entire story told about what happened the night before New Year's.
Yeah.
And we do it based on, we follow the poem. Mm-hmm. So our words have to match somehow the poem, but we improvise what that is. And then we have to agree with what the person said before and continue the story. And somehow the dang thing worked out. It
worked out, and it was very challenging, and we got through it. But it was a marvel to hear it all back. It was so fun. Right. But anyway, make sure you tell your friends about the Biofriendly Podcast. Go subscribe, hit like and subscribe. Give us those reviews. Give us those stars. Share them, email them, send the clips. Let everybody know that this is the greatest podcast in the world. That's all I'm asking.
All we care about is that that it's the greatest podcast in the world. That's all we care about.
That's all we care about.
Yeah.
So
we don't care about anything else.
Yeah. So we don't have any new tag. There was nothing that was put on this one. So we're gonna just end easily with. Would you like to say it?
We have been your beacon of light in a gloomy environment.
And Veronica.
It has
it's been that long. Have a lovely time.
Oh, yes.
You want to change it? You were thinking about changing it.
Yeah.
That's it, folks.
That's it. We're going out on that. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Biofriendly Podcast. It's the Biofriendly Podcast.